at bad problem, which I want to thank Mac, the carpenter, our carpenter, Mac Lejeune, and also Ray Bello for all of the hard work, and Jude for pitching in and helping get the parts we
Jude
needed.
Armand?
Jude Armand,
Go
that's
ahead, Jude
correct.
Armand.
He was over there writing insurance in that area, by the way.
Well,
a nice big
excellent.
account. Yes, I won't say who because, you know, I don't want to tattletale, but a nice big account.
And that means he can boss a cold drink next time we see him. Then he got a little commission coming.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about
We're
that.
sure.
There you go. But anyhow, Don's been raised in the horse industry, still in the horse industry, and congratulations. And of course, on the harmony side, the music side, who was more apt to get this award than Gino Delaforce? Because he's
all
only a
cowboy.
musician,
Oh, yeah.
he's a cowboy, a real cowboy, a one that rides horses
Right.
and has his own cattle ranch. So they had a good time. And of course, our ambassador for the city of Opelousas, Mr. Hadley Castile, was also there, as well. I see our good friend Judge Brinkman, Bobby Brinkman, who loves
music as well.
Music as
Plays
well.
guitar.
So, this is Delahousie, Glenn Delahousie. Yeah, Glenn. He presented the award to Don, and I understand did a great job because he knows Don so well, grew up in the same area, and I understand did a great job in the presentation of the award, and that's kind of important, you know. What about Tiger Woods?
Tiger Woods is coming back.
Second tournament he wins this year.
Third tournament this year.
Really?
That's 3 now. He had
Come
2 going
on.
into the weekend. Yes, sir. So
We talked a little bit about the Legend night, and of course we spoke about the LAC group. One of their horses, Keith and Ginger Myers' horse, won one of the 9 races at $100,000 purse each, and just a big night. And we just want to, you know, thank everybody for using the Evangeline Downs Hotel, which Joe Fred and I and several others in the community, Lil Joe and several others, have put up a little bit of money, but I call it seed money,
right,
to encourage
the bigger investors
to come in. And business has been good, and I want to thank all of you for recommending. And Casey Boudreau, Dirk, and
Dee's
daughter is doing a great job. She was there Saturday working the crowds. She does a good.
Look at that picture.
Look at that picture here. I've been having this in my file here for several days, and I'm speaking of Linda and Bobby Duyon, and it's Duhan on the north side of I-10, but they live on the south side, so and it's Duyon. And 50 years, Linda and Bobby. They were a nice-looking young couple, but they look a whole lot better now. Look at Bobby, boy. Oh, he got his boutonniere on and everything.
She's
man.
A patient woman, I'll say that.
Miss Linda, we love you, and you too, Bobby, and the kids, of course. What about Griffin? He says the vultures are out there.
That these people prey on these young athletes. You know, most of these kids come from families that don't have a lot of money. Football or basketball or whatever is their only way out. You know, that's how they're going to provide for themselves, and not just themselves, but their family too. And you got those vultures out there, buddy, that are looking to make $1 off of you and get you to sign a contract that takes most of your money.
They're trying to bribe him, is what they're trying to do. Some little incident they say happened, probably might have picked up a bar of candy somewhere or something and trying to make a hit for himself.
Big case.
The hit, it means money, looking for that money. But Robert Griffin III, he goes by his full name, Robert Griffin III.
RG3.
RG3. We're going to hear a lot about him, I think.
He's got a little bit of everything. Some have the legs, some have the arm, and he's kind of got a little bit of both where he's going to be special.
And come from a family. His father was a good football player himself. What about the Washington Ballpark? Changing it just a little bit, but the park's been renamed in honor of a childhood cancer victim, and we spoke about this little James Vidrine quite a number of times.
Sure.
And that's very, very thoughtful for the mayor and the council.
Rebecca and Michael Vidrine were the parents.
Right. Tina and Gary are
grandparents
that we know well. good move on the town of Washington. And what we have something else here, maybe?
I don't know.
On
You got all kind of
sports?
stuff.
Look like we pretty
I
much.
think we took care of the sports side
yeah,
of it.
pretty good job this time. One more thing.
Yeah.
And that's the Hornets.
That's
You
right.
wanna
The
get that?
Hornets are going to move. They used to be on Cox Television. Now they're going to go to what they call Fox Sports. It used to be Fox Sports Southwest, I guess is what they call it. Now it's going to be Fox Sports New Orleans.
And
So that's going to help promote our area. I mean, Southwest helps promote our area too, but New Orleans gets more specific to Louisiana. So very good move for the Hornets, and that's a station that you catch if you're on the local cable here. You better
I
catch
do
it
have
if you're
two
on the
more
dish.
things.
What else you got?
Recently, Mark Guidry was inducted into the Louisiana Hall of Fame.
Correct.
And that was Saturday a week ago. And this Saturday he won one of the big races.
He won two back-to-back.
Yeah, and he came back out of retirement. He had gone into retirement, and he got this beautiful award. And of course, one other one that got this same award inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, as well as my high school coach, Mel Devier, was
That's right.
several years, probably 10 years ago, we went to that function. But Warwick Dunn, his mother, of course, was killed working overtime to try to, one single mother family trying to raise the kids in a good way.
She was a policeman and a security officer and was doing security work at night, and some bad guy got her.
While they were trying to make a deposit with the bank, the
bank
bag. She was doing like you said, a little extra work there at night. And while he didn't have the size, he never let that bother him one bit. But just as important is all that he's done for single mothers in the Baton Rouge area. He's given over 110 the furnishings inside of homes. He saw to it that the homes were made, Habitat for Homes, and then he goes into the community and with his resources, his own money, and then money from people that believe in him because he's so generous with his time and his money that he's helped these single mothers, over 100 of them. And so tip my hat to people who try to help others in need.
Went to school at Florida State and then played for the Bucks, the Tampa Bay Bucks, and then the Atlanta Falcons, right?
And real good. I see where there's still some little controversies going on over at the
Parish Council?
Parish Council. I see they're gonna, the President, Bill Fontenot, vetoes the airport authority. The council calls for investigation of the previous president,
Don Menard.
Don Menard. It's been going on for some times now. And, hopefully we can see some headway and get back to taking care of the roads and everything else that the parish needs.
Hope somebody's thinking about fixing roads. That'd be a nice thing to work on.
I'm sure they are. And the health care, what about that? That surprised a lot of these conservatives when Chief Justice Roberts voted.
I think it surprised some liberals too.
Yeah, exactly. Surprised everybody. Well, let's put it that way.
I don't think anybody thought it was going to hold up with the makeup of the court and some of the questions about it. So it's sort of a different thing. And the decision, it was such a different decision. I don't think they know if it's good, if it's bad. Even though it upheld the law, they're not sure what it implies.
Well, he called it a tax to make it constitutional. But it's not really a tax on any of us up front. It's for people that don't buy insurance. All of us that have insurance, there's no cost to us.
But the point is, if it's not a tax, then it's not constitutional.
Well, that's right. But it's 1% of the people, I think, fall into that category of the tax. So it's still up in the air.
It's still up in the air till they figure it out.
Still up in the air till they figure it out. It's going to be. Look, I've got a bunch, but we don't want to get. It's it's controversial, and it's then again there's parts of it that even though the candidate running against the president, Romney, it's kind of his program that they copied all of this off of. And then now he's going to throw it all out. But then there's parts of it like the 26-year-old being covered under the parents' policy And that's whether they're working or they don't have to be in college like it used to
There's
be.
good and bad. There's
So
good and bad.
there's some. So is he going to throw the whole thing? He says he will, but he can't throw the babies out there with the water. You
That's
know
right.
that
That's right.
that old
Oh, yeah.
story.
Oh,
He's got it's controversial.
There you
Let's close it
I
at
saw our
that.
friends at John Paul Academy. They got an extra 60 days to go get the money, and they got the money. My understanding is that they have generated enough funds to pay for the school. Maybe it's 20-something countries and 30-something states people sent money from to try to help them purchase the campus that they were leasing from the De La Salle Christian Brothers out there in Lafayette, right next to the bishop's main office.
And they've raised money to do renovations also
So
at the same time.
I want to congratulate the whole group over there, Dr. Roberts and the whole group. They do a great job with those young kids. And I want to say something that's unusual about it. It's a Catholic school, but it's not a diocesan school. It's not run by the diocese or overseen by the diocese. They're an independent school that does their own fundraising, get their own money, do their own work to get it done. The bishop signs off that they are, a good Catholic group. But he doesn't get in the middle of it. They have to run it as an independent school altogether. So
what about Jay Dard now, Lieutenant Governor? Boy, he's out there a lot. You think he might be planning on running for governor?
Well, I guess if Bobby Jindal is going to get another job.
Well, he can't run a third time, so
Right.
he can only run twice.
So if he's going to get another job, I guess Jay Darden's figuring maybe.
Well, he would move up into it without an election.
Wouldn't even have to have an election.
Wouldn't have an election. Oh.
So it depends on how it works, you see.
Because I see where he bashed the Coterfield cuts. He's kind of getting on Jindal there, but then that's kind of quietly. He's not saying Jindal, of course. But anyhow, he was backed up on his people that's upset.
Right.
Our new state representative, Vincent Pierre from Lafayette. Well, I know his daddy real
For
well.
a long time he worked over here at the cleaning place here in town for quite a while.
He owned it, owns it. And the state representative, Mike Huval from over in the Breaux Bridge area, know Mike, insurance business. And then, of course, our own, we call him local, Stephen Ortigo. He's actually my state representative.
Correct.
That little pocket where I live, his. And they met together in Lafayette, and hopefully, Coterfield goes way, way back. That was I don't know if he was ever a state representative, but Mr. James.
Yeah.
Can't think of it. Starts with a D. But anyhow, worked hard to get this funding and Coterfield and
French immersion classes.
French immersion, like my niece
Vista
Andre
has
Andre Dupre has been involved. John and Normalee's daughter. Talked to Andre this morning. She was going to call me.
We're down to under a minute. Be a good time to find your prayer book.
Find my prayer book.
Speaking of French, Tour de France going on right now. If you're watching the NBC Sports channel, you can watch the Tour de France every evening, and I've been watching it.
Okay, the 14th, July the 14th. You want to get that real quick?
Read that right now.
Real quick, just the 14th. Just mention the 14th.
The Orphan Train Rod of Descendants are having their annual meeting, the 14th.
Gathering.
At the Vieux Village.
This weekend, Andrew and I ask you to consider attending the church of your choice. And we like to close it with a small thought, a small prayer. Eternal Father, make me great in humility and love. Only then will I be truly great before you, my Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Enjoyed the little gathering here.